Hey crafters, welcome to a cozy sewing adventure. I don't know about you guys, but recently I have just been feeling the need for a cozy sewing project. Something where I was working with a nice fabric, something that didn't require too much brain power, something where I could just kind of get in the zone, tune out for a little while, turn off the news, and hopefully make something fun. You guys know that crafting and creating is a great way to occasionally give your brain a little break, take a little creative space, maybe have a little creative self-care, and make something fun. Who doesn't need that right now? In today's video, I am finally going to be using some fabric that I have had for way too long, and I love it. It is bright dopamine colored. It has nice cozy feel, and I haven't been able to commit to a project for it. But I think this is the time. Like, the moment is now. I may not make what I had originally intended for it. I may do something a little simpler, but we're just gonna make stuff. We're gonna do it. So maybe get yourself a warm beverage, get comfy, get cozy. Let me show you this fabric that we're working with, and hopefully we'll have ourselves some nice sewing time. Let's dive in. Oh my gosh. Are you guys seeing this? The gloriousness of this rainbow flannel. It astounds me. I mean, just wow, right? Oh, it's so good. Kind of a wide weave, which is interesting. But yeah, the colors got me. I had to get it, just had to. I ended up getting about 6 yards. Can you believe it? Which I don't usually invest that much in that much fabric, but my first thought was I would make this into a dress. Problem is I haven't done that yet. I've kind of been hoping to find the perfect pattern to use this for, and the ones I have are just not inspiring me right now. And this flannel is also kind of thick. It's actually kind of a chunky weave. It's actually not all that soft, which is kind of odd. But I was thinking, okay, maybe it's too warm for a dress. Just in my area, I don't know if I'd get enough wear out of that. My next thought is, hey, let's go in the skirt direction. I love the flannel skirts I've made here on the channel before. I wear them a lot. And I mean, look at all these colors. Like, I should be able to find lots of tops, a lot of my things that could go with this as a skirt. So I think that's the direction we're going for. Right now, I'm picturing kind of a retro-inspired kind of circle skirt design, and I actually think we'll end up using quite a bit of the flannel. Not quite all of it, but I think quite a bit of it. Let's look at my design ideas and get started. Okay, guys, here's the plan. First of all, we're getting some design help from a very cool website, which I will link down below. This is Annika Design, and this is just kind of amazing to me. She has calculating tools for designing basic pattern blocks. I really need to do this for the sleeve because sleeves are always not, just don't fit me very well most of the time. There's skirt, there's bodice, there's pants. I first found this website when I was looking for the circle skirt calculator. I also love that they have the gathered circle skirt, which is really cool. Like if you're doing a narrower skirt, but you still want it to be gathered to the waistband. I have done that before and I like it. Today I'm using this one. I'm using the circle skirt calculator. That's just going to be basic. And I'm here, and then I enter in my info, which is pretty great. So what I ended up doing for this one, and I have done it already, so I'm kind of showing you what I did. I ended up selecting a 3/4 circle skirt, I love the full circle skirt, but I don't love the wardrobe malfunction that can go with something that is basically a large circle of flat fabric. So, going for something a little less poofy. I am making this a little bit weird with the sizing. I am making the waist circumference bigger than my normal waist because I want to actually add elastic into this waistband so I can pull it on instead of using a zipper. So I'm going to make the waistband and this circumference for the hole for the waistband, I'm making it too big so that then I can put elastic into the waistband and cinch it in. It will be a little bulky. It's not going to be a slim fit waistband, but that's okay. So I made the waist circumference, instead of waist, I made it big enough to fit over my hips. I also made the skirt kind of like a midi length, and I hope it's not going to be too long. Seam allowance, I think I ended up making it, I think I did 5/8, but then I really wanted extra on my hem allowance, so I put that in there. Okay, think that's okay. So then you can calculate it, which is really cool. Whoa, and then they give you this amazing picture with all the math done. Isn't that just magic? Yeah, so the first time I tried this, I just used the picture and the measurements, and I drafted my own pattern piece on a really big piece of like brown paper that I had, and that took some time. Like you have to be able to, kind of create your own, you have to like compass to make the curved edges, and you have to measure the angle and such. That was okay. It worked, but I really love that they now allow you to purchase and download the pattern, which is kind of amazing. So that's what I did. So I printed it, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Here's the sketchy sketch. Let's take a look at that. Let's just scoot that in there. I am hoping to, of course, make my skirt, and the waist area is going to be too big. I'll, of course, make 2 long, kind of wide rectangles of fabric for my waistband. Of course, sew up the side seams of my skirt. Then I'll need to sew my waistband pieces together. Then I'll need to fold my waistband circle in half, making a tube, sew that tube to the skirt, and then the idea is that I'll put elastic into that waistband that's too big and scrunch it in so that it will not only stretch to fit over my hips, but also then fit my waist. It's going to be gathered-y. The fabric around the waistband is going to be kind of bulky, and it's not going to be like a super slim fit, but that's what I'm going for because I like comfy. And that's the best way I've figured out to do that. If anybody has other ideas for a super comfy elasticy waistband on a circle skirt, please let me know. But that's what I'm doing now. Let's take a look at my pattern that I printed. Well, here is my pattern all cut out. I did not cut out the waistband because I'm going to be doing that myself. But you can tell, yep, taped all the pages together, and not too complicated. I will say, though, the pattern did mention that you needed to add in the seam allowance and the hem allowance. So you can kind of tell my pattern has some extra around those edges. That was kind of interesting to note because you do actually input that information into the calculator. But then that wasn't part of the print out. So just a note, that was interesting. This did take some time. Did it save me a ton of time from having to copy down measurements and kind of make my own compass and create my own thing on a giant piece of brown paper? Yeah, it probably saved me some time, but it definitely saved me a lot of brain power, and that's what I needed. So the printout was definitely worth it. And of course, I am totally glad to support this website because I think they're awesome. Pattern established. Now I need to cut out a whole bunch of fabric. And of course, I'll need to cut out the waistband as well. All right, well, let's get started. wow, you guys, we have some skirt construction underway. You might have noticed that I did pin and sew the pockets to the front of the skirt, and I also sewed the pocket pieces to the back of the skirt. I also pinned my waistband pieces together, sewed those together at the side seams, although I left a little gap in one of those side seams so that I can use that to insert elastic into the waistband once it's attached to the skirt, of course. But can't get too carried away here. I do need to sew my side seams and sew down a little way into the pocket, leave a little gap, and sew down the rest of the way. Then, of course, I am also going to need to do all the way around the outer edge of those pockets. And I am trying to do a zigzag stitch across all the raw edges because this stuff frays like crazy. Once we've got those side seams and pockets sewn, though, we can finally attach our waistband, and then we're going to basically have a skirt. So, hooray! Let's get to sewing and let's get to doing that. Well, good morning, everyone. We are back. And we have a skirt. Yay! We're not quite done yet, but we're getting close. You saw last night, I did a rolled hem, which I need to iron. I thought about using single fold bias tape, which I have done on full circle skirts, but this one was fine with the rolled hem, three-quarter skirt. I also got our waistband on here. Of course, we sewed it on first and then folded it in half. Now this is the inside. Pinned down that pressed under edge, and I just sewed that down by hand last night. Now, of course, we need to put elastic in here, and thankfully, I've got that little gap in my waistband side seam, and I'm going to use that to put in my elastic using the good old safety pin method. Okay, speaking of elastic, I've got some nice 1.5 inch waistband elastic. It's kind of cool. It stretches, but it's also kind of stiff and not too stretchy. Of course, I got my big old safety pin, and I'll be using that to help insert the elastic into that waistband. Once I've got it in there, I will definitely try on the skirt and adjust the elastic to fit just right before I sew the elastic closed. And then I guess I could sew that little hole closed as well if I'm not feeling lazy. Then, you guys, we are going to have a skirt. So that means it is time to sew and put an outfit together. While I'm doing that, it's a great time for you guys to give this video a big thumbs up and consider subscribing for more fun stuff from Partners in Craft. We're always up to something and hope you come along on more adventures. Thank you, of course, to everyone for the likes and comments and all the love. It does make a big difference around here. Okay, I'm going to get to elasticizing, and then I'll show you what this looks like when I'm done. Quick interruption, you guys. As I was getting ready, I noticed how amazing my new PBS bag looks with this plaid. Oh my gosh, mustard yellow. Yes. I recently unsubscribed from Netflix and Amazon Prime and decided to support PBS instead. Because, man, I've been learning from their shows my entire life and wanted to do that. So I got a bag. It's very cute. Of course, they're not sponsoring my outfit today in any way, but I love them. So had to give a little shout out, and I love this bag with the plaid. It's so good. Okay, outfit time. See you in a minute.